lama aku tak bikin ni benda. So guys, Assalamualaikum Holy Creed people. How are you? Aku harap korang semua dalam sihat-sihat, sejahtera. Siapa yang dah kahwin, kekalkan kahwin. Siapa yang sakit, pergi makan ubat. Macam biasa guys. Jangan bongok. Okay? So guys, Holy Creed is making a comeback. As usual, I will be alone. InsyaAllah in the near future, aku akan ada co-host. And korang akan tahu siapa co-host aku nanti. Aku harap korang masih still support Holy Creed Show, the best podcast in the universe. Lain podcast semua korang tak payah dengar lah guys. Dengar kita punya podcast je. We will only be in YouTube. Siapa yang belum follow Holy Creed Show punya YouTube, pergi follow. Siapa yang belum follow TikTok, pergi follow TikTok. Siapa yang belum follow IG, pergi follow IG. Siapa yang belum follow aku punya personal account dekat TikTok juga, boleh follow aku punya personal account dekat TikTok, dekat IG dan dekat YouTube. Okay? So, after so long, ni kita punya second take Tadi aku tak press record. Musibut, bongok nak mampus. After so long, I'm making a comeback. InsyaAllah, kalau korang support aku akan bawa guest yang bagus-bagus. InsyaAllah, aku akan bawa guest yang power-power untuk korang for your entertainment purpose. Okay, so hari aku ada guest. Bukan guest tong Aku ada seorang guest after so long. Guest ni aku dah kenal dia dah lama. Dekat aku kenal dia dah lama lah. Lebih daripada setahun lebih lah. Setahun lebih So guest aku ni, kita selalu dengar orang kena scam. Kita selalu dengar orang kena scam, orang kena tipu, orang kena tipu duit. Tapi scam ni actually kebanyakan selalu kena pakcik-pakcik, makcik-makcik, yang tua-tua lah, orang-orang tua lah, anti-anti, uncle-uncle. Jarang kita dengar orang yang berumur lingkungan 30 ke 40 tahun. So bila kita dengar orang kena scam ni, bila aku interest in orang yang kena scam ni, aku rasa lagi best lah kita nak dengar ni story. And the best part is dia kena scam dengan ejen rumah. Ejen rumah. So nari aku ada guest. Guest aku korang tahulah siapalah Aku rasa korang tahulah. Tapi aku tak nak introduce the guest. Aku nak guest aku introduce dia herself. And let us welcome our guest, the one and only, the sponsor of Holy Creed Show. We have
Hi, I'm
siapa?
Elle. And I yang kena scam tu.
So, L yang kena scam dengan ejen rumah. Okay? Kenapa and bagaimana dia kena scam? Mari kita tanya L sendiri macam mana dan bagaimana dan kenapa dia kena scam. L,
Yes.
asal dan macam mana boleh kena scam?
Okay. So I sold my house already. And then I nak kena cari rumah baru. I've already applied for my new house, this and that. So while waiting for the selection of rumah baru tu, ada this space yang I don't have a place to stay. Okay, so I search for kira macam rumah rental lah, temporary. But usually dia punya rumah-rumah yang rental, this one yang kalau HDB rent ke condo rent ke, usually dia punya list is quite long. Setahun, 2 tahun, diorang tak ambil short termnya lah. Because I myself tak sure bila nak akan dapat that rumah kan. But I don't think it will take that long lah, sampai setahun 2. Which is kalau I take that period of time, it will be a waste lah kan. So, I sort out for macam short term punya list. Okay. And then I ask Zul for help to ask around lah untuk cari this macam 2-3 bulan punya rumah lah. In the meantime. Then after that, someone actually texted me, WhatsApp me on January 1st or 2nd, something like that. Okay, dia cakap, I heard that you are looking for a place lah to stay, to rent lah. Then macam, I tanya banyak tempat, banyak agent, this and that, tanya rumah apa-apa semua tak ambil short termnya. So this person approached me. And then after that, I cakap he asked me for the profile, the normal things, so yang kalau nak rent rumah, this and that. So I gave him my profile apa semua. Then dia tanya nak cari area mana. Dia cakap cari area Hougang lah kalau boleh. Because my kids are schooling dekat sini kan. So it's more convenient lah. Kalau nak hantar diorang di sekolah takkan nak patah balik. Because my parents are staying kat Jurong. So kalau I were to stay kat Jurong, in the meantime, hari-hari nak patah balik from Jurong to Hougang pun kesian lah for the kids, right? So I told that person, that agent, can I name him?
Can.
Okay.
You can name him. I will put his name. I will put his details inside the YouTube.
So this person is called Gerald Tan. Dia daripada Propnex. Okay. And then after that, this Gerald cakap give him a few days to find a place for me, this and that. Okay, berapa hari? Dia cakap okay, dia dah jumpa tempat lah, which is quite close to my house lah, to the kids' school. Okay. And then berapa hari dia tanya berapa nak bila nak pergi viewing. Dia cakap okay lah, ASAP lah, boleh lah kan. Pergi tengok tempat dia macam mana, this and that. So berapa hari, I and Zul myself, we both went to the place for viewing. Kita pergi sana to view the place. Okay. So we went there. Then after that, dah lepas kita keluar pada rumah tu, I tanya the person lah, the agent, how much is the rental, and then bila boleh move in, this and that. So, I punya keys handover is actually on 12th of January. So after that, dah tak ada tempat tinggal apa. Dan I cakap dengan dia lah, okay lah, ASAP lah, kalau boleh on the 15th of January move in lah kan. Then dia macam, why so sudden lah, kenapa in a rush? I explain to him lah, cakap I hand over my keys already, this and that lah kan, dan tak ada tempat tinggal. Then dia kata macam kita negotiate a bit. Dia kata okay, kalau the earliest would be 20th lah. Dia kata landlord nak kemas rumah sikit, this and that. Nak kasih time for the previous person to clear ke apa lah, ni semua. Dan I kata okay. So, he gave me a contract, a tenancy agreement. Okay. He sent me his details. Dia punya SingPass punya IC, and then the landlord punya IC, this and that. So, it looks legit lah. It looks legit at that point of time.
Okay, when I saw the TA, which is the tenancy agreement, aku pun macam okay lah, ni legit Syul, gila babi Syul. Cakap okay boleh lah 15 okay nanti kita siap-siap barangnya, gerebuk. So yeah, continue.
Okay, so berapa hari tu okay, I'm supposed to move into the place on the 20th of January. Okay, then before that Zula cakap, dah tanya dia belum nanti nak masuk, nak move in macam mana, nak masuk rumah tu macam mana, di sana. Cakap never mind lah, wait lah, later lah. I said I just like dilly-dally, I paid already. Before that I pay already. I paid, nak cakap berapa?
Later then we tell the amount.
Okay, can. So I paid, kira macam dah clash the deal lah. I take the contract, I sign the contract, this and that. So kira konon dah confirm lah that house yang for rental is, I get to move in on the 20th lah. So masa on the 19 of January, I text the person, satu tick dekat WhatsApp. Okay. I tried to call, ada ring tapi tak angkat. So before that dia cakap at first he used this first number. Then after that dia cakap okay, use this number, this second number, because dia punya WhatsApp ada problem lah, dekat dia ada number kan. So I have 2 of his numbers. I texted on both his number, dia tak reply. So I pun ada 2 number apa. I text him on my other number yang dia tak tahu, pun sama satu tick juga. No replies, nothing, call pun tak angkat. Then after that,
can I cut in? So during that period of time when I asked you to check, I say, El, you check already or not? You confirm or not? ni tak scam ke, tak apa
No,
ke?
he didn't say scam or what. He just asked me to ask the agent macam mana nak masuk rumah tu on that
Yes,
day.
correct. Because rumah dia, gate dia thumbprint, pintu kayu pun thumbprint. So I was like, how if kita belum scan kita pay thumbprint, kita belum apa kita pay thumbprint. So
Yeah.
yes.
So on the 19th itself, I did tell Zula, I dah message the agent, tapi he didn't reply, only one tick. So senyap je lah kan. Then the next, that day itself, malamnya, I have my agent, my own agent kan, yang apa tu, settle the selling of my house before. Then after that, malamnya tu, I text him, cakap, I ask my agent lah whether he's free, I got some things to ask lah kan. Then after that, I tidur cepat until morning, baru I gave him a call. I gave him a call, I told him what happened, this and that. Baru dia cakap, it's most likely a scam.
Okay. When you know that, when he said that most likely is going to be a scam, how do you feel?
Kancong ah. My main thing is, I need to get a roof for me and my kids. Tu je. Macam nak rasa marah ke, nak rasa sedih ke, that one all I push aside already. My main focus is to get a roof for me and my kids. That's the most important thing for me.
Okay. If you guys know that bila she was scammed with that during that time, dia very calm, cool, collected, guys. Yang mengamuk aku. Yang mengamuk
Dia dah
gila.
menggigil.
Yang mengamuk gila aku, guys. So, yes. Then after that,
Okay, so I called my agent yang jualkan rumah tu. I explain everything to him. Then dia kata, you give me both his numbers and then dia punya details sekali lah. So I forwarded everything to him. Dia tolong check. He helped me check dekat Propnex punya CEA or something. Yang number, correct, whether is what you call it? Whether it's
a legit agent or not a legit agent.
He's actually, this Gerald Tan is a legit agent. Okay. Memang ada manusia yang nama Gerald Tan ni yang agent Propnex, memang ada. And then but the numbers that I gave to my agent, it wasn't registered. Yeah, it wasn't registered under the CEA, under the agent thing lah. The numbers wasn't registered.
So how do they check is basically just by the handphone number. If you guys, this is a lesson for all of us as well. If you don't trust the agent, just go to the CEA punya. I got no idea how it works, but there are some phone number, some website that you can check the agent whether he or she is legit just by typing their phone number.
Correct.
And carry on.
Okay, so my agent cakap most likely is a scam lah. Then tanya dia, so what do I do now? Dia cakap dia tak terus cakap go and report police this and that lah. He took the liberty to help me track down this person. This is Gerald Tan. Okay, they tried to track down this Gerald Tan, and then then I asked him do I have macam would it make a difference if I go back down to the house that we went for viewing? Then dia cakap, okay, never mind, just go and see how it is lah kan. So me and Zul went, terus that time you tengah buat live he was doing his live and then he just terus stop. Then we terus pergi sana, we went there. The moment we reached there, everything was like how it was the previous time that you came. Masa yang kita datang tu, kat luar masih ada kasut.
Correct.
There were still shoes outside of the house.
Correct.
When we reached there, it was the exact same shoes and all masih kat sana. That means technically rumah tu isn't even empty for us to move in.
Yes.
For me to move in.
Aku gegar, guys. Pintu dia aku ketuk macam nak rak. Aku ketuk macam nak pecah, guys. Aku tak kasih can. Aku dah trip gila. It's not because of that. Aku bingit pasal orang yang aku kenal kena scam. Itu yang aku bingit. Itu yang make me really feel like, siol, kau depan mata aku kau rabak siol ni. So okay, L. So you want to okay now it's basically you can tell how much did you transfer the money.
Okay, so usually kalau you all do rental, I've never rented a house, so I didn't know how it goes this and that. So bila masa this person, okay, we negotiated for the price lah kan. Dia tanya how much is okay for you, this and that. So I tengok dekat market price, this and that. It was a 3-room flat. Usually it's 3,000 lebih tau. Okay. Then I tried to negotiate. Dia cakap, then I said, what about 2.7 ke berapa, something like that lah. And then dia cakap he wanted to go higher. Then I tried to go lower, this and that. Then I said, okay lah, try to meet in between lah. I cakap 2.6 lah a month. Then dia kata, okay. Simple, dia tak ada banyak songnya, tak ada apa. Simple gila. Okay, but then the thing is, kalau usually you do rental, you ambil rental with, I think it's open rental flat or something like the open market ke apa, you kena put deposit for the first month. Okay, so we settled with 2.6k, and then I nak kena bayar dia punya security deposit, and then the first month of rental, which adds up to 5.2k.
$5.2k guys. Kau tahu 5.2k aku boleh beli apa tak guys? Aku boleh beli Mac Mini dengan full spec untuk buat aku punya video editing. Boleh buat aku taklah. Even if it's $100 to be scammed, or even $50 to be scammed by someone, I don't think it's fair. And furthermore, perempuan yang tengah desperate, seorang wanita yang desperate untuk dapatkan rumah untuk anak-anak dia. Korang faham tak? Yang desperate untuk dapatkan rumah untuk anak-anak dia. Okay guys, I'm gonna stop this recording. I'm gonna go into the next episode. The reason being because how it went after that we went to the place. After we went to their place, right after that, kita dekat bawah. We will return to the next episode, and we will share this. We will share after this. So I hope that ini adalah satu pelajaran. Come back on the next episode.